Hello all, and welcome to your very own Tech and More. Hope you guys are doing awesome. So guys, as part of the ongoing series that is important programming questions for software engineering interviews, welcome to one more video. Now, as you can see, this is a playlist wherein different Java programs are discussed along with algorithms. So the basic philosophy, if you haven't been following our playlist till now, is that we talk about the programming problem. We first talk about its algorithm. Then we start writing the code with reference to the algorithm so you understand it better, right? That is the intent. So if you like our content, please share, subscribe. That keeps us motivated, of course. So without wasting any more time, let's focus on today's programming problem. That is, write down a Java program to find the first, second, third largest digit in an array. What exactly do we mean? As an example, let's go to the algorithm. Just focus on the highlighted text here, which is 13, 15, and 20. So it's an integer array, as you know. And we want to find the first largest, second largest, and the third largest number in the array. It can be fourth largest, fifth largest, n largest overall. How do we do it? How do we handle it? That is the algorithm. First, let's go through the algorithm and then we'll write the program for it. The first one is, of course, the integer arrays that's declared and all. Then second is that you have to sort these numbers in an ascending order. So it has to be something like from 30, 15, 20. The resultant should be, which is 15, 20, and 30. It should be like this. And then of course, before that, how do we achieve it? We follow step number 3, which says to achieve the sorting of the numbers, you have to swap the numbers first and then put it in a loop. If you have seen my previous programs, you might have seen that there is one program wherein we swap two numbers, right? And there's this logic wherein you have first number, second number, and then you have let me write it down somewhere. Let me go to the ID. So you have first number, okay? Then you have second number, and then you have a temp number or a temp variable. So basically, when you swap, that is, you assign first number to temp and then temp to second and second to the first number. I'm sorry if I'm doing the sequence a little wrong here, but yes, the intent is that if you have seen this program, you will be able to correlate. If not, go and watch the program wherein I talk about swapping two numbers. So we are going to follow the same logic here. One by one, we are going to swap the numbers. That is, first of all, we'll focus only on the first two, that is 30 and 15 as an example. We're going to swap them on some logic. Then we're going to maybe swap the numbers at the first and second index, that is 15 and 20, for example, and then so on. And then we're going to keep on shifting them to the left, the smaller numbers to the left, and the larger numbers will automatically get shifted to the right. So as a result of that, you will have an integer array, which is of the ascending order, that is 15, 20, and 30. Don't worry if you don't understand it perfectly. We'll have a look at the code. And then fourth is you capture the size of the array using the dot length method and then storing it in integer size. And then you have the size now, you have the ascending integer array now. So you keep on subtracting the indexes and then you get the value. For example, you have 15, 20, and 30. The size is 3, right? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 integers in this array. So let's suppose 3 minus 1 is going to fetch you 2, right? So at the second index, the largest number, that is 30, will be there. Then 3 minus 2, 3 minus 1. So accordingly, you get the index, and at the index, the correct value will be there. So let's suppose if I talk about, in this case, there are 3 numbers. So at the first index, the value will be 20. So, this is 0th index, this is first index, this is second index. So at the first index, the number is 20. So this is the second largest number. Cool. Now, I know I spoke a little fast because when we are talking about the algorithmic way, it has to be more oral. But now I go and have a look at the program. I code it, so now you'll have a better understanding. So now let's go and have a look at the code. So the simple logic here is that first of all, we need to have the array that we want. So I'm going to declare an integer array, which is going to be, let's say, I'm going to use the same numbers, by the way. So it's 30, 15, and 20. It's done. And now I'm going to store the length of the array in an integer variable. So let me give it as int size equals to we can say array dot length. Perfect. Cool. So this is done. And then now I'm going to start a loop, which will say for int I equals to 0. I is less than the size. This is the size. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the size. So I is less than the size, I plus plus. And then and now since we are iterating, we're starting from the first, the 0th index, that is 30. I'm going to compare 30 with 15, 15 with 20, and maybe, the I and I plus 1 numbers with each other, I plus 1, then I plus 1, I plus 2, I plus 2, I plus 3. So I'm going to need to use 2 loops here, which is obvious. So because, I and I plus 1. So for I plus 1, I need to have one more loop. So let me go and paste it here. So the other one will be I plus 1. And then again, it is going to be less than the size, right? And of course, we need to change it to j plus plus, and j is less than size, right? Now I need to shuffle. Let's only talk with respect to 30 and 15. So I need to shuffle 30 and 15 with each other, right? So how do I do it? Of course, I cannot do it just shuffle it as in. There has to be a third variable introduced, right? So let me go here and let me create another variable, which is temp, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, or I'm going to ask it that, you know what, if the value at I, that is 30, if it is greater than the value at I plus 1, then you do something. So let me go here and let me give it as if array I, if the value at ith index is going to be greater than value at the I plus 1, or I plus 1 is also j here, right? So I'm going to write it as j and stuff, right? So if that is the case, then what you do, you basically, first of all, assign the value of array I, that is, whatever is at the ith value, you assign it to a temporary variable. And then whatever is at the jth value, you assign it to the ith variable, because now i's value has been assigned to temp. So I is blank right now, right? So I'm going to take this as it is. And let me copy this here and paste it, is equals to array j. Because why am I doing it? Because the value at I is now blank. So because i's value has been given to temp, so I is blank. So now I'm going to assign j's value to I. It's as simple as that. And now again, since j is now blank, right? I am again going to take the value which was in temp originally here, because temp did have some value and j is now blank. So I'm going to use it here and assign the value of temp to j again. Right? This is done. So now we are going to repeat this entire process iteratively again and again until and unless we do not have an ascending array that is 15, 20, and 30, right? And then once that is there, I will get out of the loop and I will use the system.out.println. My bad. Just correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. I'm bad at typing well at one go. So yeah, so if let's suppose I am now going to use this particular thing as, let me define the array here, then I have the size, that is the length. And if let's suppose if I want the largest value to be there, so I'm going to use something which is size minus 1, right? Let me add a string here. So largest. Cool. So size minus 1. Let's see. First, let's see the result. So largest is 30. Out of this 3, 30, 15, and 20, the largest one is 30. If I want the second largest, I'm going to keep the size minus 2, play it, and then play it as it run the program. So it's 20. And if I want this third largest or the smallest, then I'm going to make it as size minus 3. Click on play button, and then largest is 15. Or the third largest is 15, my bad. Third largest is 15, right? So let's suppose if the program was that you have to print the second largest, right? So in that case, it's going to be size minus 2. Now, as I told you, we'll go through this very quickly one more time with an example, or example more than an example, with one subpart of this entire array. So let's suppose we only focus on 30 and 15 for now, right? Let's say that this entire program is only going to focus on 30 and 15 for now. So we started with the iteration for int I equal to 0, then we gave another nested loop inside it, and then we gave it as a decision or an if-else condition, which says if value at I is greater than I plus 1, that is the next index, you basically do the needful. So here it is. So 30 and 15, 30 is greater than 15. Cool. Then what happens? You have to make it as 30 is greater than 15. Cool. Now, at I, the value is 30. So I is 30 and J is 15, right? So now what you do, temp is right now just blank. So the value at I would be given to temp. So temp becomes now 30. Okay. And now I has to be assigned the value of J. So J is 15. So now I is now 15 because it was blank. So right now I is 15 and temp is 30 and J is blank. So now I'm going to assign the value of temp into J. So now J is going to be J is going to be 30, right? So now earlier I was 30, J was 15, and now after the swapping, I is 15 and J is 30, right? And now the resultant array is 15, 30, and 20. And now this will repeat again. So 15 is greater than 30. In the next iteration, 15 is going to be greater than 30. No. So this it will not enter into the condition. But 30 is greater than 20. So it's going to again enter into the same iteration. And then again, the swapping will happen. That is 20 will come at the place of 30 and 30 will go at the place of 20. So it will be 15, 13, 15, 20, and 30. The resultant one will be. So the final output is going to be 15, 20, and 30. Right? So the size is 3, 1, 2, 3. And the indexing is, of course, 0, 1, 2. So if I have to grab the largest one will be size minus 1. So which is size is 3, which is 3 minus 1 here. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So index 2, that is at index 2. Which is index 2? This is index 0. This is index 1. And this is index 2, right? So at index 2, the largest value has come, which is 30. If I want the second largest, I'll subtract by 2. So which will make the index as 1, right? and so on. So basically, as depending upon the type of number that you require, you can use this algorithm. The beauty of this particular algorithm is that it does not bound you to only largest or second largest or third largest. You can have any nth largest number using this algorithm. Cool. So I hope that this is clear to you. I know that if you're watching this for the first time, things might be a little complicated for you. So I would suggest that watch this video one more time, practice at your own end. And if you feel a problem at any point of time, feel free to comment and I'll be more than happy to help. Cool. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the upcoming ones. Thank you. Bye-bye.